Let us not forget everything that happens. It's by the will of Allah. Holy will. It's time to unite and stand, and we will be the best amongst men. It's not time to be extreme or do the unthinkable, but to stand together as one. Tune into Sunnahfollowers, stream it every day, various platforms. Trust me, you'll find a way. Sunnahfollowers. Seerah of the Prophet Muhammad, the final messenger. The seerah of the Prophet Muhammad, the final messenger. The seerah of the Prophet Muhammad, the final messenger. The seerah of the Prophet Muhammad, the final messenger. The seerah of the Prophet Muhammad, the final messenger. Oh, living in this dunya to the believer is a prison. Living in this dunya to the believer is a prison. Living in this dunya to the believer is a prison. Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. Listen, we are in dire need of donations to keep these shows running and available for you 24/7. So that means when you're in the car, it's available for you to listen to. Whether you're at work, streaming, playing a game, it's available for you to listen to. Rowing your deed and learning about the beautiful, beautiful, beautiful different topics of Islam. Listen, one of the heaviest deeds that could be placed on your scale on the Day of Judgment is Sadaqah Jariyah. Yes, I know, I'm trying to build deeds daily. So you can too. So listen, feel free and please, from the bottom of your heart, donate to this wonderful cause, wonderful website and platform to continually push out shows that will benefit you and the Muslim Ummah. Yes, you can donate by going to the Sunnahfollowers.net website, pressing the donate tab. You can also scan the QR code in YouTube on the far left top of our videos that are streaming. Listen, guys, this is very important, and take this as important. We want to keep this programming available for you 24/7 so that you have access in your car, anywhere you choose to tune in to this wonderful programming. Yes, guys, it's all at your disposal. So listen, feel free to donate. Once again, remember, Sadaqah Jariyah, one of the heaviest deeds on your scale on the Day of Judgment. You just need to stay away. Just need to stay away. Stay away today. There's a heavy price to pay. Stay away, stay away, stay away. You just need to stay. Prohibition, limitation. You just need to stay away. Ooh. Proper Aqidah, Quran and Sunnah, Quran and Sunnah, Minhaj and Aqidah. Actions speak louder than words,
Sunnah-following kids, come with me.
Gotta work hard. Join us every Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern for the Ask Sister Layla live call-in and answer show. Please join Ustada Layla Nashiba if you have any questions in regards to this theme. Call in at 862-370-2838. Now streaming on various platforms right here on Sunnahfollowers. Hey, I got a couple questions for y'all. The first one, who is your Lord? What is your religion? Who is your prophet? Now, I know this sounds crazy, but if you're one of those people that have been trying to get information and you come across this, or even this. All right, take a listen.
Assalamu alaikum. I am Sister Layla Nashiba, the Managing Director and Founder of Sunnahfollowers Online Islamic University. As you know, we have classes every day beginning at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we cover everything from Aqidah, which is your belief system, to Seerah, which are the stories of the Prophet, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the story of the companions. Please join us every day beginning at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we are broadcasting and streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, DLive, Trovo, and Twitch. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
You will make it through. The fitrah is awake in you. With Quran and Sunnah by your side, here's a place where it will thrive. You will make it through. You will make it through. The fitrah is awake in you. With Quran and Sunnah on his side, here's a place where it will thrive. You will make it through. With Quran and Sunnah on his side, here's a place where it will thrive. You will make it through.
Ina alhamdulillah, wassalat, wassalam ala wa rasulallah. I'd like to welcome everybody here to our first class for today, which is the Aqidah class. And this is the class wherein we are studying from the book written by Sheikh Kareem Abu Zaid entitled Diluting Bara. And this is the third of the trilogy, which in my opinion is a masterpiece collection that Sheikh Kareem has put together, for English speaking Muslims around the world. Because it's not every day or everywhere that you're going to find a book that addresses the Aqidah or the belief system of the Muslim in such detail in English. You'll find all of these works in Arabic, but not, and many of them are in Persian too, from what I understand, but not that many in English. So may Allah bless Sheikh Kareem Abu Zaid for putting the Right Belief series together. It's a trilogy. We started off with the first of the trilogy, which was Get to Know Your Lord. And that took a year for us to go through his first book in this series. And I love that book. And we're going to go back to it after we complete this. It breaks down the meaning of the first part of that Shahada, what it means when we say that we believe in Allah, we believe in his angels, his books, and all of that. And I also like that book because he also gave a history as to how after the companions, we've come to where we are today, where we have deviated away from the right beliefs, system. We're no longer upon traditional Islam. We're now upon what they refer to as progressive Islam. Islam has become watered down. Muslims today have become very apologetic. They feel the need to explain themselves to non-Muslims, and as a result, we've adapted the identity of the non-Muslims, whereas Islam teaches us that we're supposed to be different. If you look at the history of Islam, from when the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam first moved to Medina, the first thing he told the companions is, we're gonna be different. At first, when he first moved to Medina, he went into an agreement, a peace treaty with the Jews and the Christians that were there. But as always, as they broke their agreements of peace and their agreements of treaty with the Muslims, that's when the Prophet said, we're no longer gonna be like them. We're not gonna longer try to, blend in with them. We are distinct. We're different. One of the questions that I've got today, I get questions from a lot of the brothers, I was looking at my YouTube stats. I have a lot of male followers. In fact, more male followers. I have 65% of the people that view me and my classes, my channel, are men. Only 30, well, it's really more than 60. It's what, 68% now? Yeah, 68%, because it's just 30 something percent that's women, that listen to me. The women are still diluted, which is one of the signs of the last hour. Even though my dawah is geared towards women, I'm attracting more men than women, because women suffer with that female thing that we've always suffered with, known as jealousy. We are jealous of another woman, one that knows more than us, or one that we think looks better than us. That's silly female stuff that we deal with, that female drama. So a woman, as the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, one of the signs of the last hour, is that the women will be the number one followers of the wayward men. They will follow a wayward man to hell, knowing that he's a wayward man, but they rather be with the wayward man than to recognize the state of themselves, and talking about the jealousy. So it's not surprising, that most of my followers on YouTube are men and other social platforms. And as a result, I get questions from a lot of the brothers. A lot of the brothers are choosing to come to me with questions that they've taken to other brothers who they said didn't answer their questions with Quran and Hadith. They answered their questions with yes or no, or they answered their questions with what the Madhab said, what Imam Shafi said, what Imam Malik said, and then they give you what Imam Hanbal said, and they said, we don't know who to listen to, so who's right? Okay, so they bring the same questions to me, and I've answered this question about 100,000 times in the past 3 years. And I'm going to tell you why, you brothers, I'm going to explain again why you get confused with it. A couple of the brothers here asked me, they said, Sister Laila, I'm trying to be a good Muslim. I really enjoy the personal attachment I had with Allah during Ramadan. I loved fasting. It seems like during the month of Ramadan, I was at my most spiritual high. And so I'm trying to do the Sunnah, of trying to fast a couple of days, or 3 days out the week, or out the month, or 1 day out the week, or whatever. And so a couple of the brothers sent me emails. I was just reading them before the class today. They said, so, but Sister Laila, I'm getting different answers. I went to Sheikh so-and-so and asked him, the question, and he gave me this answer. He said, no, I can't Then I went to somebody else's live Q&A and asked him the same question. And he said, gave me what the math app said. He said, so I'm confused, but the hadith is here. The hadith is here. So why would the hadith say this? I mean, he said, no one's explained it. So he said, I believe in the hadith. I'm not a Qadari. I guess everybody is. By the way, I did separate that. A lot of people are listening to my lecture yesterday when I answered the two sisters. And by the way, I just posted that video. What I did was I cut yesterday's class. The part where at the beginning, I spent 40 minutes answering in detail and through examples of the companions, the question about your husbands who don't believe in the hadiths, you know, telling you to do this and do that. That part, I cut that from the class. So that video is separate. And what did I entitle it? I entitled it, what's the name of it? My mind is going blank because I'm so whatever. But I entitled it, it's separate. It's just separate. You will see it. It's on YouTube. It's on Facebook. I posted up to my Facebook page and the Sunnahfollowers group. You know, it simply says something like no hadith, no Muslim, or no hadith, no marriage, something. Don't believe in the hadith, it's not a legal marriage. Whatever it is. And I separated it. So for those of you who want to send that, because a lot of you new shahadas, you know, you're coming from different backgrounds where a lot of the husbands don't believe in the hadith, or they only believe in Riyadh Salihin, which is not even a source, and the 40 hadiths of Imam Nawawi. Oh my God, this is just pathetic. I just still think about that and get so sad because we are so far away from the true Islam, and it's just sad. But anyway, for those of you who want to send that on, it's separate. So you can go and you'll see it on YouTube, and inshallah, hopefully somebody will put some shorts out on it. One of the sister here and brother Ahmad, they'll make shorts of it. By the way, I will be putting some shorts out of Dr. Jamali later today. I'll handle Jamali in them shorts. Okay, so, but anyway, a lot of people have listened to that lecture, and that's why I think I'm getting these emails today from the brothers that emailed me today. They're not in the group. They believe in the hadiths. They said, we are not Qadariya. We believe in the Sunnah. We believe in the hadiths. We're not from Wallenstein Muhammad. We were never part of Elijah Muhammad, you know, but they're confused about this issue. And I've answered it before, but I'm going to answer it again. And maybe Brother Ahmad, Sister Maisha, they can make shorts of this part too. The question is it haram, or are we forbidden to fast on Saturdays and Sundays? How many times have I answered that? You know, this sheikh says it's haram for us to fast on Saturday and Sundays. Where do they get the hadith from? The hadith is it's authentic. It's from Sahih Muslim. But again, I tell you, brothers, all the time, what is it that makes Imam Bukhari's collection the most authentic on this planet? In fact, his collection is the most authentic collection of writings after the Quran. Imam Muslim was his student. And yes, the hadiths in Sahih Muslim are authentic too. But what Imam Muslim did, and I want you brothers to remember this, and I'm going to say it so that hopefully this will be part of the short. Okay? What Imam Muslim did in his collection, he also included the abrogated hadiths. Imam Muslim's collection also includes abrogated hadiths. What are abrogated? That's an English word that we don't hear today, because in American English, we don't use the word abrogated. Abrogated means canceled out. To abrogate means to cancel or replace something. Abrogate means to cancel or replace something. When the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam first migrated to Medina, the Jews welcomed him. At first they were excited to meet him because they wanted to meet this man who was able to call the Arabs away from worshiping idols, because the Jews could never get the Arabs to understand that a rock is a rock and couldn't be worshipped. So when he first arrived in Medina, the Jews also came out to welcome him. And being our prophet, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that's when he went into peace agreements with them and also the Christians. So when he first arrived in Medina, he said, every people have their day. And this is another authentic hadith. The Jews, their day is Saturday. The Christians, their day is Sunday. Our day is Friday. And then the hadith goes on and on about other stuff too. It's a long hadith. But this is the part that you brothers need to pay attention to. So he said, out of respect, to show respect for the Christians and the Jews, because our prophet was a diplomat, he said, we will not fast on Saturday or Sunday either, to show respect for them, because these are the 2 days that they go without eating. What would it look like if the Jews were fasting and we hear the Muslims walking around eating in front of them? You know, have some respect. Or the Christians are fasting and we're walking around eating in front of them. So in the beginning, when the prophet first went to Medina, this is where the history comes in. Like I tell you guys, I have a degree in history. I am a historian. History is everything. You have to know the history of these hadiths. And most of you are too old to learn them. I learned them when I was 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, all the way up. Okay? But anyway, so to show respect for the Jews and Christians on their day of fast, the prophet forbade us to fast. So that hadith in Sahih Muslim is authentic, where the prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, do not fast on Saturdays and do not fast on Sundays. Months went by. As the months went by, the Jews became suspicious of the prophet, envious of him, etc., etc., etc. They ended up breaking their agreements, breaking their this, that, and so did the Christians. So that hadith was abrogated. After some time went by, the prophet told the Muslims, he said, I used to, when I first came here, I forbade you from fasting on Saturdays and Sundays. He said, but since these people have broken their agreements with us and they've proven to be dishonest with us, I take that back. He said, you can fast on Saturdays. You can fast on Sundays. Just do not fast on Fridays, because that is our day, unless you fast the day before it or the day after it. So that's why I tell you guys, there's several other hadiths in Sahih Muslim that were abrogated too. The one about it's being forbidden to eat or drink when standing. That was in the beginning too. That was canceled out too. When the prophet made Hajj, He went to the well of Zamzam. He said, I used to forbid you from eating and drinking standing up, but look what I do now. He drank from the well of Zamzam standing. So that those hadiths are abrogated too. So it's not, this is why I tell you guys, I want all you brothers, because you brothers are the ones that's struggling with this. The Prophet, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, said, do not argue or debate this religion. This is not what he was sent to do. And we have to be careful arguing with people, because whenever we argue, our jinn gets huffed up inside our heart, and he will push you to transgress the limits of Allah. And also the Prophet said, don't argue with an ignorant person, because an ignorant person will hurt you. Don't argue with an intelligent person, because you will make him hate you. You brothers have got to stop arguing this religion, because none of you, I'm just going to lay it out there, none of you are qualified. I'm talking about the ones that came to me. None of you brothers are in any position to argue anything about this deen, because I can tell you, out of you brothers who came to me with this, none of you understand la ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. And since you don't understand that, you definitely don't know nothing about the hadith. You don't know the history. You don't even know what a hadith even means. Y'all got to stop it. You got to stop it. And as I did explain that to the brothers, that's when the other one sent me the email saying, but Sister Laila, I went to this sheikh and this sheikh and this sheikh. None of them gave me the right answer. I don't know what to do. Okay, I tell you guys all the time, be careful who you take your knowledge from. Most of the people on the internet ain't qualified either. Just like you brothers ain't qualified to teach nothing, they ain't either. We're living in the days of Ruwaybida. Don't y'all know that? I keep telling y'all that. Allah keeps slapping it back in your faces. You brothers have to wake up and understand that. Well, I'm going to explain it to you again. Those hadiths in Muslim are authentic, but they were abrogated. We have the hadith from Salama radiallahu anha. She said the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to do lots of voluntary fasts. He used to fast different days of the week, but he never fasted more than he did on Saturday. That hadith is authentic. Okay? Then we have the hadith of Aisha radiallahu anha. She explains it even more, because again, she was a scholar of the hadith. She said, when my husband, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, canceled out the command, the prohibition of fasting on Saturdays, he then, to show his dislike of being anything like the Jews, he fasted more on Saturdays than any other day. What's the source of these hadiths? Muwatta, and they're all authentic. Okay? So stop arguing this religion and just ask the people of knowledge. If the people you think are of knowledge don't answer correctly, just keep go on to the next person. Keep on trying until you find the person of knowledge who can answer like I just did, with Quran, with hadith, with the story, with the history, and the dalil. But as far as you brothers bashing each other, fighting with each other. Stop allowing Shaitan to cause you brothers to do that. And that goes to the sisters too. I don't have any sisters here that I know of that's fighting like that. We have our female drama, but it ain't over the religion like that. You brothers are the ones doing that crazy stuff. Y'all got to stop it. It's not worth it. Okay. But yes, you know, that hadith is authentic, but it's canceled out. You can fast on Saturday. You can fast on Sunday. The prophet fasted more on Saturday than any other day of the week to show his dislike for those Jews and how treacherous they were. The only day that you can't fast on is Friday, unless you fast either the day before or the day after. Okay, Sister Rashida, Monday and Thursday is Monday and Thursday. But as Aisha, his wife, and his wife Salama said, he didn't fast no day more than Saturday to show his dislike for the Jews. So we accept what he says and we don't question it. We yield. And that's another thing that all of you, brothers and sisters, there's a lot of things that we think about this religion that are not true. The prophet did fast on Mondays and Thursdays. Do y'all know how long after that came? That was long after this, Rashida. He started fasting on Mondays and Thursdays in what year of his migration? What, the 6th year, 7th year? He started fasting on Saturdays in the 1st year. And they never did more fasting on Saturdays like the hadith says. Again, y'all have to learn the history. Since you don't know the history, accept and yield. Y'all understand? When we give y'all the answer, yield. Just say, oh, I didn't know. And you ain't gonna know, because do you know the history? The Monday and Thursday came years later. This was the beginning of the migration, not the 3rd or 4th or 5th or 6th year after. Y'all got it? So like Aisha said, and like Salama said, he fasted on Saturdays more than any other day of the week, because he started doing it as soon as those Jews broke their agreement. Y'all understand the hadith now? They broke their agreements with him months after he came to Medina. So to show them that we opposite on fasting every Saturday. That Monday and Thursday stuff came years later. Okay, yield, sisters. For the sisters, y'all have to learn to yield. You have to learn to say, wow, this sister knows more than me because she knows the history I was taught wrong. She gave me dalil. You brothers have to learn to stop fighting. Twisted nation we are. Now y'all see why the women will follow the wayward men. And now y'all see why the men will kill each other. Allah speaks the truth. All right, so I hope I answered your questions, brothers. Is that clear? You understand now? So yes, you can fast on Saturdays and Sundays. It's Fridays. That's our day. Yeah, Thursday. You can do Thursday and Friday, or you can do Friday and Saturday. And that hadith is another hadith. What's the source of this one? This is Bukhari. Zainab, radiyallahu anha. She was one of the wives of the Prophet, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It was her night. The Prophet entered her home after coming from the mosque. He stayed the night with her, and then he left the next day like he always do for Fajr, and then he happened to come back again because he forgot something. And he found her fasting. And this was a Friday. So he asked her, he said, "You're fasting?" She said, "Yes." He said, "Did you fast yesterday?" She said, "No." He said, "Do you have plans on fasting tomorrow?" She said, "Maybe." She said, "Why, O Prophet of Allah?" He said, "Because Friday, do not fast on Fridays unless you fast either the day before or the day after. That hadith is Bukhari. So again, this was after he had canceled out, because he made the rule to not fast Saturdays and Sundays when he first arrived in Medina. That was one of the first things he did when he got there after building the mosque and stuff. He canceled that. They broke their treaty a couple of months later. Oh yeah, the Jews, they broke their treaty. He canceled that crap real quick. So that hadith there is also the dalil that yes, you can fast on Saturdays. Everybody got it? Yeah, now do you brothers see why I say that those hadiths are everything? You will never understand the Quran, and you will never know how to practice this religion until you learn the hadiths. And since most all of you are too old to learn them, you got to have a teacher, a bona fide, qualified teacher who knows, not Arabic, but who knows those hadiths, that can break it down like I'm doing to you to help you to understand. The hadiths are everything. Everybody got that? All right. So yeah, you can do Saturday and Sunday. Okay. All right. So let's get to our class for today. And by the way, before I begin it, let me remind you guys that we do have the Q&A tonight. You know, you brothers, if any other questions y'all have about that type of stuff, bring them tonight at 9 p.m. because my Islam Q&A show is from 9 till 11 tonight. And I will welcome all your questions. And if there's more questions that I can't answer, I will have Sheikh Morsi on standby, inshallah, to help. All right. Okay, so let's get started on the brother Aklam. You shouldn't trust no non-Muslims in business. Brother Aklam wants to know, should we not trust the Jews? You shouldn't trust anybody that's not a Muslim in business. We don't trust the non-Muslims completely at all. Okay, because as Allah says in the Quran, they are not our friends. They are not our protectors. And like I said, the Jews weren't the only ones that broke their agreement. The Christians did too. That's why the prophet started fasting on Sundays too. But he did Saturdays more than any day. Okay? But you don't trust any non-Muslim. Whenever we do business, and you're dealing with non-Muslims, guys, you always have your back ready, because you can't trust the non-Muslims in anything. They'll never have our best interests at heart. The Christians won't, the Jews won't, the Buddhists won't, the Hindus won't. They don't like us. Non-Muslims don't like us. So don't trust a non-Muslim for anything. That's what wala wal bara is. Where is your allegiance? Our allegiance is only to Allah. Only to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the religion of Islam and the Muslims. We don't have no allegiance to anyone that doesn't fall in that group. If you're not in my circle, you're not part of my group. My circle is Allah, the Prophet Muhammad, the religion of Islam, and the Muslims. That's it. That's our circle of trust. That's the circle of trust of Islam. Okay. All right, so let's get started on the class for today. And what we're going to speak about today is we're going to continue with this chapter, which is chapter 7 of the book, Diluting, Bara. In this chapter, Sheikh Kareem Abu Zaid shows us how, by implementing Bara, even with the internet, it proves that the message of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is timeless. We have to believe in the hadiths. The hadiths are the things that the Prophet Muhammad said and the things the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam did. His guidance is timeless. His guidance transcends. His guidance will be the guidance until the day of judgment. Even when Jesus alayhi salam comes back, he's not coming back as a prophet of Allah. He's not coming back as a messenger of Allah. He will be coming back as a leader over the world. And he will be reinstating the Sunnah of not his, the Sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He will not come back as a prophet bringing a Bible. He will come back as a ruler of the world. And he will rule with the Quran in one hand and the Sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad, which are the hadiths, in the other. So our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his message transcends time, and it never gets old, it never gets outdated, and it applies even in today's world of technology. So let's put the PowerPoint up on the screen so everybody can see it. And let me do this. Wait a minute. Okay. And yeah, I gotta go there. I made the PowerPoint. Hold on. How to implement. Yeah, this is it. Yeah. Let me share this. Okay, that's for the people on Zoom. Okay, the people on Rumble. I can't see you, but alhamdulillah, I think I fixed the problem. I didn't know I had so many followers on Rumble and that they weren't able to see the stream like this because I had did something crazy in the configuration. But anyway, people on Rumble, here it is. You guys can hear me and see the live because I see on my other computer it's streaming live on Rumble. And I know I can't see what you type, but should there be any questions, feel free to join YouTube, my stream on YouTube or Facebook or Instagram, and I can see your typing on those, okay? Or you can leave a message for me in that chat box, or those of you who have my Sunnahfollowers WhatsApp, and also, y'all can text me. Yeah, I was up all night fixing Rumble. I didn't know I had problems in Rumble. Yeah, but it's inshallah we got it together. Okay, so let's put the PowerPoint up here and make it big screen for everyone. Okay, so today we'll be covering in the book, we'll complete this chapter. We'll be covering pages 220 through 223. And we're going to discuss and show how, by implementing allegiance and disassociation through the guidance of what our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam taught us, it helps us to navigate the internet. A lot of people say, oh, we got technology today that didn't exist back then, so what he said doesn't apply. Oh, really? We're going to show you how it does, okay? In a world that's interconnected by technology, it's natural that there'll be a lot of people to question whether or not the Quran, whether or not the hadiths from over 1,500 years ago would apply. But again, as we talked about yesterday, the knowledge of Allah and his wisdom transcends all time. And when we implement the principles of allegiance and disassociation, these principles are rooted in love and allegiance to Allah, love and allegiance for other Muslims, while disassociating ourselves from what opposes it. We see that it does connect. The laws and rules do connect over 1,500 years. For example, we have to look at the social media. Look at the internet. Social media is not exempt from Islamic values. Social media operates within platform regulations. Social media, in fact, we have to implement our Islamic principles. Otherwise, social media can become a platform that can take you out of here. There's a lot of bad people on social media. For example, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam told us in an authentic hadith, whoever believes in Allah, whoever believes in the last day, should either speak good or remain quiet. You know, we're living in the era in which people like to hide behind the computer because we can be whoever and whatever we want to be on this computer. In real life, we may be cowardly. In real life, we may be nothing but a peasant. But we can log on to this internet, go into chat rooms, and pretend to be whatever we want. And as a result of that, we can hurt people. We can seriously hurt people. And that hurt can end up backfiring on us. We can end up saying things about a person that person may not like, and that person may have a mental illness or something and come looking for you. So here we can see the Prophet telling us, if you don't have anything good to say, then shut up. It applies for today. If you're on Facebook and you see a person post up something good about another Muslim sister, you may not like that sister. You may be jealous of her, or you may think she's an awful person. Like the Prophet said, if you don't have anything good to say, shut up. Don't say anything. But look how many of us will go and comment and say, I don't like her. I think she's this. I think she's that. And next thing you know, you done slandered somebody. And now you wonder why you gave birth to a stillborn baby. Oh, that's happened so many times. I've seen this happen. So many sisters who wasted their time backbiting and slandering and gossiping against other women on this internet. They get pregnant and give birth to stillborn babies, Allah's punishment. We have to be careful what we say about other Muslims, because remember, all of us are on different levels of closeness with Allah. That sister who you're slandering, that sister who you're talking bad about, she may be a woman that gives so much in charity that she's earned the love of Allah. And Allah says anyone who attacks anyone he loves, he becomes a ferocious lion against you. And now you wondering why you done had 3 pregnancies and all 3 of your babies were stillborn. Oh, this happens so much. And I tell these sisters, yep, look at your Facebook page. Look what you typing about other women that you don't even know. Remember, guys, the internet is just the internet. You don't know nobody personally here. Unless you know that person on a personal level, shut up. We all have to put on an act, even me. I have to come on this internet as a dawah because I'm doing this for Allah and been doing it all my life. I have to sit up here and make my voice super strong, super tough, super challenging, because I don't know what loser is going to come in here today and try to jump crump. But then when I turn this computer off, I'm the most gentle, sensitive person you will ever meet. The people who know me would tell you, Layla is a crybaby. I spend more time crying and just I'm a quiet person. I mind my own business. I stay in my own house. I don't bother nobody. But I have to put up a front on this internet in order to convey Allah's truth. So you don't know these people in real life. So we need to do like the prophet said. If you ain't got nothing good to say, shut your mouth up, because it can come back and backfire. Also, another example as to how his wisdom transcends time. Remember, the prophet taught the companions when he migrated to Medina, when those Jews began to break their agreements. Many of the Arabs wanted to retaliate against them. They wanted to write poems against them too, because the Jews were even writing poems about the Muslim women, derogatory poems and stuff. The prophet told them, don't stoop to their level. He said, the best amongst you are those who have the best manners and the best character. Be kind to the people. Be respectable to the people. Don't let another man's ignorance bring you down. And also, he had to remind his wife Aisha. He said, oh, Aisha, do not allow your tongue to say evil, and do not allow your hands to do wrong, because these two things will provoke and bring about Allah's anger. So here we can see this is advice that the prophet gave over 1,500 years ago. But that advice still is applicable to today. When we're on this internet, we have to watch what we say out of our mouths. We have to watch what our fingers type on that screen, because the tongue and the fingers are like a sword. Once you put them out, whatever comes out from them, you can't take it back. Nothing comes down from the internet. There's one brother, pretty famous. I don't know why he's still famous. He been trying to take his private parts off the internet for years. It ain't ever coming off. Okay? Don't know why he's still famous when he did what he did. Oh, disgusting. So as we can see from these hadiths, the Prophet Muhammad's message transcends time. Here's another example. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, the believer is not a person who slanders. The believer is not a person that goes around cursing others. The believer is not an abuser of others, nor is he a foul-mouthed person. So again, that applies today. When you're on this media, when you're on YouTube, when you're on these voice chat programs, watch what comes out your mouth. Be careful what you say about another person, especially when you don't know these people in real life. Stop calling each other kafirs. Stop bashing each other. Stop abusing other people. So how can we say that the hadiths are outdated? How can we say that they're not applicable to today? And that's for these brothers out there who don't believe in hadiths. I just don't understand how these people, these brothers, even function. Okay? There's another hadith where the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, beware of sitting in the road. The people said, oh Prophet, we sit on the road because there's nowhere else to sit. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that if you're going to sit in the street, give the street its right. He said the rights of the street are to lower your gaze, to refrain from harming others, to return the greetings of peace, and to enjoin what's good, forbid what's evil. Again, all of these hadiths can be applicable to the digital realm. When we're on this internet, social media, we have to lower our gaze from what may be harmful content. We have to lower our gaze from the pornography that's there, the TikTok videos of the women and jumping around naked, the men being naked. It also means lowering your gaze against that which attracts you, because beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. What may be attractive and tempting to me may not be that way for you. So to each his own. You may have to take your screen and lower it down and just listen to my voice, whereas that next person can look at me with no problem. So you see how these hadiths are applicable even in the digital area that we live in. And we always have to greet each other. And we should always remind each other to not transgress the limits of Allah. So if we apply these principles to our social media, we'll be able to handle ourselves on it without, becoming victims or oppressors. And when we embrace the principles of association and disassociation, we'll be more cautious as to what groups we join, who we listen to on this internet, and all of that. So again, for those Muslims that say that this world has evolved digitally and the wisdom of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is outdated and doesn't apply, this is a person that has no understanding of this religion. Subhanallah. Also, living in the digital landscape that we live in, technology brings about good, and technology also brings about challenges. But Islam gives us the solution in how to handle all challenges in life. Just like Allah sent down that Quran and the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his example is what carried the people back then 1,500 years ago into how to handle their challenges. The same applies today. The simple fact that we are all digitally connected. The internet allows us to connect with people from around the world, different cultures, different races, different groups that we would not have ever been able to connect to before. And of course, this brings about different ideologies. This challenges our Aqidah because people are from different backgrounds, like we talked about yesterday. There's some people that call themselves Muslims, but they don't believe in the Hadiths. You got people that do believe in the Hadiths and the Quran, but they also believe in grave worship. So again, this internet opens us up to people from all over the world. But we have to know how to deal with each other. We have to be able to recognize who are the people that I need to distance from, because Islam teaches no grave worship. Islam teaches no calling upon anyone other than Allah. So the internet brings issues and challenges to us like that. But again, Islam transcends all time. The laws that Allah made are for all time. Everything that Allah made lawful is good and clean. And everything that Allah made haram is bad and dirty. Pornography, bad and dirty. Cyberbullying, bad and dirty. We can't go around bullying people. Islamic phobia. These are all things that challenge us online. But again, Islam teaches us how to handle all things. The Prophet taught us to do unto others as you would want them to do unto you. You wouldn't want anybody bullying you, teasing you because of your race, your color. What did he tell Abu Dar? Abu Dar, you still have Jahiliyyah in you, when he called Bilal the son of a black slave woman. So again, those hadiths still apply today. It still applies today. And if we implement them, it would make our journey on this internet easier and better. So this is what this chapter of Sheikh Kareem Abu Zayd's book addressed, how the Sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam transcends time. It never gets old. It's never outdated. The principles of la ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah transcends all time. Those principles apply in all eras. And so in the next chapter of this book, what Sheikh Kareem Abu Zayd is going to go over more examples in life. This was the internet. The internet, everything applies that he taught us in regards to how to behave and how to act. Well, what about in business? What about in our business dealings? That's what we're going to be addressing in the next chapter. So I'm going to stop right here. Subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. And I hope you guys can see why I really like this book, this whole series of Sheikh Kareem Abu Zayd, because as you can see, he is showing you how Islam is not just a religion, but it's a way of life based on belief in Allah, sacrificing for him, proving to him that he is first and foremost over everyone and over everything. All right, so I'm going to stop right here. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and ask them. Brother Abdullah, most things in life are lawful. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, when it comes to our everyday life, most things are lawful. Okay? There's nothing in Islam that prevents you from watching sports on TV. The Prophet Muhammad likes sports too. Most men like sports. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to watch the companions compete, and sometimes he join in and compete with them. He used to watch them compete in wrestling. He would watch them compete in archery. He would watch them compete, in swords fighting. And sometimes he joined in. So if the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam were living today, he'd probably like sports too. He'd probably like soccer. He'd probably watch soccer. Okay? There's nothing wrong with that. The religion is not hard. It's easy. We just have to learn it correctly so we don't make it hard on ourselves. Okay, any other questions? Yes, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. You got some questions? She says she's got some questions from her friend. Yes, bring them here, guys. If you got sisters in your community that have questions, you can bring them here at 9 o'clock and I'll answer them, inshallah. Okay, Sister Monty wants to know, how can she concentrate better? This is a struggle that all of us have. All of us have. The best thing that I can tell you to do, Sister Amani, is to put yourself in a room where there's not that much distraction. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam would tell the companions, find a praying niche, a niche away from everyone and everything, and make sure that there's no sound, you know, like the TV is off and all that. And make sure that there's no other children running around to distract you. You know, try to find a place off to yourself. And this is a lifetime thing. A lot of us work all our life trying to perfect our khushu' or our concentration. And remember, when you do become distracted, just say, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. And also do the sunnah actions of the prayer. This is where you brothers that don't believe in a hadith, that's why I couldn't be with none of them. They ain't Muslim anyway. Because the brothers that don't believe in a hadith wouldn't know how to pray the way the Prophet taught us. One of the reasons why we do the sunnahs of the prayer is because they help with our khushu'. They help with our concentration. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, when you raise your hands and say, Sami Allahu liman hamidan, you are pushing shaitan back. In another hadith, he said, when you're sitting, reciting the tashahhud, moving your finger up and down, that finger becomes like a bar, a strong bar that keeps shaitan back. So why do people move their finger up and down? To keep the shaitan from distracting you. So perform the sunnahs of the prayer. Make sure you're raising your hands. Make sure you're moving your finger up and down, okay? Because these sunnahs, you know, help to also strengthen our khushu'. Yeah. And if you're a woman, make sure you're not wearing colors that distract you, or jewelry that distract you, or even perfume that may distract you. Make sure the children are not in the room with you. Take the kids and tell them in the living room. Tell them when I pray, when I go in my bedroom to pray, I'm closing the door. Y'all don't come in here. Okay? Try to calm everybody down. Okay? And that should help. Turn that TV off. Yeah. All right. Okay, guys, I'm going to log out for now, and I'll be back at 9. Any questions y'all have, just bring them in here. And like I said, Sheikh Morsi will be on standby, you know, if we need him to. All right. Okay. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.